Hello, IoTeX community. How's everyone doing on this lovely Friday? Good to see everyone. We have a really great ecosystem spotlight for you guys today and a preview of our new proof of presence protocol, which we call POP. Um, you know, it's kind of strange to do these kind of spotlights when so much stuff is going on in the world. Blockchain can't solve these things that are obviously, very political and very complex problems to solve, but um, you know, uh, business goes on, but we just want to send our thoughts to everyone that's, suffering through these times right now. It's very complex, and our thoughts are with you. But with that, we have a great lineup for you guys today. Bot Planet, QiDAO, IoTeXPunks. Really excited to share these new folks that are starting to build in the IoTeX ecosystem. And even we got to meet a lot of great people here in ETH Denver. Just last week. So really excited to share these new types of MachineFi, DeFi, NFT, GameFi projects that are coming on board to IoTeX. Um, but with that, I want to jump into a little bit about what we've been up to at IoTeX lately. This is, of course, Pebble Tracker. For those of you that have been in the IoTeX community for a while, you know that Pebble Tracker is a very important part of IoTex's future. It's really great to show this device off to people in person at ETH Denver. Um, I think the feedback was really incredible to see a real product, real blockchain and IoT product being utilized to bring real world data to Web3 for the very first time. And uh, we're not stopping here, right? Pebble Tracker and UCAM are the first devices that we have, but there's many, many others that we've been working on and really extending the possibility to bring all types of real world data to the blockchain. And that's exactly what I wanted to mention today with Proof of Presence Protocol and also with MetaPebble. So without further ado, I'm going to share with you guys a short presentation before we dive into the ecosystem spotlight about everything that's going on and some things that we've been teasing here and there, but generally unannounced. We're going to have the full announcements next week, but this is going to be an amazing sneak preview for everybody. So this is Pebble Tracker and MachineFi, right? For those of you that aren't familiar with these, very important for you guys just to get up to speed, right? There's a lot of great assets to browse at machinefi.com. You can also order Pebble Tracker directly on Crowd Supply. We're going to be putting out an update about Pebble Tracker later today, but the next 400 units have been shipped. So if you guys were waiting in the queue for your Pebble Tracker, you won't have to wait much longer. It's coming very, very soon. But with that, something we unveiled last week at Ethereum Denver is an extension of the concept of Pebble Tracker. This device here, Pebble Tracker, brings all types of GPS, temperature, motion, and light data to the blockchain. But not everyone can have a Pebble Tracker, right? We wanted to bring the same capabilities to a universal audience, and that is why we unveiled MetaPebble. MetaPebble is a NFT-based access to make your phone, one of these things right here, into a Pebble Tracker device. It's going to be able to write all sorts of data from your phone to the blockchain in order to trigger different types of incentives. And if that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. I'm going to explain exactly what we mean right now. MetaPebble is going to be delivering access to those that hold this MetaPebble NFT. Right now it's not animated, but this card is spinning. You can check out our Twitter feed for the real NFT that people are going to be getting to give access to MetaPebble application. So why mobile devices, right? Mobile devices are gold mines of data. This phone right here collects so many insights about you just in the background, right? The Face ID can detect your identity and mood. Your microphone is detecting the voices and sounds that you're making. The GPS location is telling you what you've experienced. The camera is detecting different types of objects and sights. And it's also tracking things about the real world, not just you, right? There's a barometer, which tells you air pressure. It's a proxy for elevation. A gyroscope to tell rotation, accelerometer to tell speed, proximity sensor to tell distance, light sensor to tell light intensity or lux. magnetometer to detect magnetism, and of course, brand new phones are being equipped with LiDAR, which is a distance and range detection. So much data being collected just by putting these phones in our pockets. And what better way to make use of that data than bringing it to Web3 in a way that you own that information and are able to use it, prove facts about yourself or about the real world in order to achieve to get digital incentives or digital assets. Um, they're also amazing gateways for different types of edge IoT devices. Every app on your phone today is a potential gateway to another type of IoT device. If you're familiar with your Apple Watch or all these smart home devices that communicate with your phone through Bluetooth, all the data that those devices are sensing or gathering or observing can also be funneled to your phone and distributed to the blockchain in order to be used in all different types of dApps. So aggregating data insights that can fuel dApps via open incentives and open tokenomics. This is just a brand new design space for Web3 builders, right? Before, all we could use are kind of digital insights and digital keystrokes, click this button on your phone, depositing money. But now we can really expand the design space of Web3, not just to reward things that you do in the digital world, but we can track digital real world activities and reward them with digital incentives and digital rewards. Um, there's a lot of ways to explain this. One of the ways that we've explained it in the past is proof of anything, right? Everyone's familiar with proof of work and proof of stake. These are very digital things that computers are doing, right? Proving work from an electronic kind of hash function perspective, proving stake from a depositing money perspective. But what if we could prove things that we've done in the real world, right? Going to a certain place at a certain time, running a certain amount of distance, planting a tree, using solar panels instead of fossil fuels. All of these are things that we can prove about our personal and professional lives using IoTex's tech stack of open hardware, oracles, identity, and smart contracts. Um, and this is really the crux of it, guys. So we're expanding Web3 with real world incentives, right? Um, every layer of Web3 or blockchain is kind of an incentives marketplace, right? There's always someone incentivizing someone else to do something that they wouldn't necessarily do on their own, right? This starts even at the blockchain layer. Those that run nodes for IoTeX, for example, are not doing it for fun. They are doing it because the protocol rewards them and it's a win-win solution. The incentive receivers get what they want, which is an IoTeX token, and the protocol or the blockchain gets what it wants, which is security and uptime, thanks to those that run servers and nodes. So in the middle are these Web3 applications or Web3 protocols that facilitate these win-win interactions and deliver incentives and manage those processes, right? Really important to think about the evolution of this concept, right? Um, in the past, it's all been about proof of stake and DeFi related incentives. Deposit or stake assets in order to earn yield or rewards. This is really what these protocols have been facilitating for a long time. DeFi has really sparked the opportunity to give people open incentives. Anyone can deposit their funds into a smart contract and earn yield in a very open and permissionless way. Next came GameFi, where people were allowed to do things in the digital world in order to earn digital assets and digital reputation. And what MachineFi and Pebble Tracker and MetaPebble and now Pop Protocol are going to do is allow people to do things in the real world to earn digital assets and digital reputation. And this is going to be a step change for all of the Web3 space. Just to go over MetaPebble a little bit, I mentioned that the way that it's going to work is these NFTs are going to be distributed to everyone around the world. There's going to be ways to qualify to earn free NFTs and also discounts on NFTs. Those that have the NFT will be able to access a MetaPebble app, which will follow the same kind of work stream as the MachineFi portal. So those of you that have this Pebble tracker and have registered your information, you're going to be able to do the exact same thing, but turning your phone and all of those sensors that I mentioned into kind of data oracles for the MachineFi portal. Those that haven't checked out MetaPebble yet, we have an entire blog post about it, but much more about the release schedule coming very soon. And this is kind of what the MetaPebble app is going to look like. It's the interaction is really going to be with the MachineFi portal itself. So you're going to be creating a new MetaPebble. Those of you that have the NFT are going to be able to access this application and basically activate your device in a MachineFi format. And this is what I wanted to mention to you guys. This is a brand new kind of protocol that IoTeX is really pioneering. It's not just an application, but it's really a protocol on top of which other people can build on top of. Proof of presence is a really interesting concept that IoTeX kind of coined even starting last year, and it's been on the top of our minds because it's such a important introduction into the MachineFi space, right? Going back to proof of anything, there's a lot of proofs of things that we can do in the real world, but one of the most important is proving you were at a certain place at a certain time in order to get some type of reward. And this is what proof of presence is really all about. We're going to be launching the new website very soon, and we're going to be delivering some modules that people can already build on top of and utilize. The three that are really top of mind for us are going to be location-based airdrops. So for projects that want to build community in a brand new area that they've never built a community in, say it's the Philippines or say it's Venezuela, they can get airdrops of tokens just based on their geolocations, right? So it's a really good way to make sure the incentives are delivered to people that are in a real world geo-fenced area. Another really, really cool one is that I'm personally very excited for is claiming NFTs based on your geolocation. And this, just think about all the places that you visit in a single day, right? Whether it's a event space, a concert, even your job, right? If you still go into the office every day, the ability to go and tie a NFT to a geofence that other people can claim by showing that they were present. Maybe you're a restaurant owner and you want to give a happy hour NFT, or maybe you are an event organizer and you want to give people a digital souvenir for coming, or maybe you are a city or a government and you want people to visit different parts of your city in a scavenger hunt or itinerary type of fashion and give NFTs every step of the way, and also give another NFT for completing that itinerary. All of this is going to be possible with proof of presence protocol. And the last one I think is very timely. Ralin was actually mentioning this idea yesterday is delivering universal basic income based on your geolocation. So we're actually in talks with some really interesting partners to deliver universal basic income based on geolocation. So, it really reminds us that, there's other ways to use blockchain, not just to deliver fun graphics and fun tokens, but we can really make an impact with all this technology. And proof of presence is going to be usable by both projects and participants. But most importantly, it's not a DApp, it's a protocol on top of which other people can build their own use cases, some of which we can't even imagine today. So there's going to be a lot more about proof of presence protocol coming very, very soon. Just wanted to give this preview to everyone in the IoTeX community. There's also a lot of other things in the works. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Lonely Planet is a geo mining and making the planet less lonely DApp that is being built out. You probably see it sometime in late March or April, but you can see all of these different prototypes being built on top of it right now. And yeah, that's what we wanted to share about proof of presence with you guys today. Hope you guys are excited for it. It's going to be a really, really, really cool opportunity to build what we see. I see some people in the comments. Yes, exactly like Pokemon Go, real world presence, and connecting the real world to the metaverse, right? When I look at these kind of maps with the hexagons on it, especially this Lonely Planet one, this resembles our current map of the world, but mapping this geography into a metaverse can make all sorts of digital worlds and even chop up the way that we live life today into a digital fashion. So, um, yeah, really excited to share all this, guys, with you. And we're going to be jumping on to our next segment, which is our ecosystem spotlight. Of course, we're going to be starting with QiDAO, and we're going to be moving over to Bot Planet, and then IoTeX Punks, which we're all really excited about. So, without further ado, this is one project I'm really excited for. My Finance and the DAO that backs it. I want to welcome my friend Gila into the chat. What's up, man? How's it going?
How's it going, y'all? It's going
Yay.
really well.
Awesome, man. It
Good
was
to see
really
you
good to meet
again.
you. Yeah, we met
Yeah,
in East Denver for, maybe 3 or 4 times we bumped into each other, but it's good to put
keep
a name
bumping
to a
into.
face. Exactly,
Exactly,
exactly.
exactly. That's the beautiful thing about like ETH Denver and those in-person events is you actually get to meet the people in real life and make those connections and yeah, just a magical spot, man.
No, for sure. I hope you came out of it with no sicknesses. There's a lot of folks that unfortunately, maybe it was like a little super spreader event, but hopefully you came out with it. You look healthy and you look fresh on this Friday. So
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I came out of it with no issues. I had COVID like a month before, so I think I think that
yeah,
maybe saved
same,
me from the
same,
spread.
same. Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
the booster, right? Or the second unwanted booster. But
Yeah,
QiDAO, My Finance, this is something I've been really excited about. You guys have had amazing success on many other blockchains, and we're really excited to bring you on to IoTeX. I see you guys already being integrated into Zoom Swap and Mimo and some of the other
correct.
DeFi pillars. But let's start from the top, right? QiDAO, My Finance, these are two kind of names and two kind of brands. What is the relationship between My Finance and QiDAO? And from your own words, what do both of them do?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, are you familiar with, like, MakerDAO? And MakerDAO has, like, the front end Oasis, right? So you have the protocol, which MakerDAO has, and then, front end is Oasis. It's kinda similar concept. We've got the actual protocol, which, does everything on the back end, that is QiDAO. The front end where people interact, where you would go, like, the website that you would go to is My Finance. And that's the one that you're seeing right here. So it's really just the front end versus then our actual
Hmm.
protocol. It's confusing sometimes because people ask, what exactly are you with? Are you with QiDAO? Are you with My Finance? It depends. It depends on our answer based off of like what we want them to do. If it's projects, we usually will say QiDAO because a lot of times we want them to be building on top of the protocol. Users a lot of times it's just My Finance come in there and use us. And if you're not familiar with what we do at our core concept is we allow you to take your crypto and kind of put it to work, get more liquidity out of your crypto. So you can take your crypto, deposit into a vault, and then borrow against its value. So that means like you never have to really sell your crypto to extract value out of it. Um, and yeah, there we go. You back. Yeah,
Sorry,
that's like
there's a
kind of
little
the
disconnection.
core.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the core concept. I think a few things that make us different to other protocols, for example, like Maker, is one, we are on. You can mint our stablecoin My, on multiple different chains. We
Hmm.
started off on Polygon, then we moved cross chain. You can mint our stablecoin natively on 6 different chains, 7 coming soon, and then hopefully IoTeX very soon as well once Chainlink integrations happen. Um,
Yes.
and what that means is that it's a lot cheaper for people to mint stablecoins using their assets. Because if you're minting on Ethereum, I mean it's expensive to do one transaction, and so you have to be really borrowing a large sum. Um, you have to be borrowing a large sum to make it even like feasible to mint. So us
Exactly.
being
Hmm.
on these cheaper chains, it provides more access for more people to take even micro loans. Like say you've got a thousand bucks worth of BTC or ETH or Matic or whatever it may be, and you've got a bill that's coming up, $300 that you need to pay. You don't want to sell your BTC because it may go up the next day. And so deposit it, take a little loan, and pay your bills. Or if you just want to, use that value for yield farming, or if you want to use that value to lever up your position, I mean, you know QiDAO and My Finance, it makes that available for you. A couple
And
other things
and
that make us a little, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, when you're talking about this, these are the secrets of the wealthy, right? In the traditional space, right? Like, um, all the assets that one has, whether it's your house or your business or other things, people are borrowing money against those collateralized assets in order to invest in other things, right? They pay an interest
Right.
rate to borrow against those things. And if we're talking about real estate, you don't pay taxes on the money that you borrow from real estate, right? So these are kind of the tricks of the trade, but in a more Web3 format, right? So everyone that out there sitting on a nice pile of IoTeX, and maybe earning some staking rewards, but maybe you don't want to earn the yield in IoTeX. You want to borrow. Maybe what's the typical LTV? The loan to value ratio is like 75% value
It's about,
for
yes.
native
Yeah,
assets.
75 to 77, depending on collaterals. We also have some interest-bearing stables that you can borrow more from. I think you hit the nail on the head. This is what the wealthy do, and we're kind of unlocking a lot of that for everyone in the
For everyday
web space.
people.
Because yeah, for everyday people, because one, you're not taxed. You're not taxed when you borrow against your own assets, so you're not creating a taxable event. So if you sold your assets, that's a taxable event. This is not a
Hmm.
taxable event. Two, you mentioned interest rates. So one big differentiator from us versus others is we don't charge an interest on minting against your collateral. So you can mint, you can mint as much as you want, as long as it's over collateralized. And 0% interest, it means you can hold that loan for 20 years and never have to worry about an interest rate. The only fee that you will be paying is a 0.5% fee at the end of the loan whenever you pay it back. And that's on the amount that you borrow. So you hold it for a day, you hold it for 20 years, you're paying the same thing. No big deal.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
also, another big thing is we are trying to make it to where you do not have to choose whether to stake somewhere and earn interest, or borrow or mint stable coins. So for a lot of on a lot of different chains, we are adding interest bearing tokens as collateral. So you can stake it somewhere, for example, like Aave or Yearn, or insert name here, and then
Hmm.
use their receipt tokens as collateral. And so your collateral value continues to go up, while your debt at 0%, it remains the same. And so you can see that's a pretty sweet deal.
100%. So deposit your IoTeX, borrow 75 to 77% of its value in which is a stable coin pegged 1 to 1 with the US dollar. And you can
Correct.
use these My stable coins however you want, right? Earn even more yield on different yield farms, or even lend out that My to other people. It's really
Right.
unlocking the value and more utility for the assets that you already hold today, right? Um,
Absolutely.
I'm really excited for it, man. So, it's really it's going to introduce IoTeX community to a new aspect of DeFi. Right now, we have liquidity providing via Mimo, we have lending and
Mhm.
borrowing via Filda and MinMax, and we have different yield farms like Magic Land and ZoomSwap. But this is really going to unlock, just as you guys say, multiply your exposure to crypto. And for a company like you guys, over 300 billion in assets across all these very popular chains. Really excited to bring you guys over to IoTeX soon. So, this is got to connect my wallet. Maybe I'll connect my Ethereum wallet just to take a look at the interface of QiDAO. But you were going to say something before I interrupted you before. Please continue.
No, I think that's good. Good. I'm reading through some of the comments. Some people are asking, do you have insurance in case of hacks or something along those lines? We do have insurance, so you can get insurance from like Title. We have insurance, or Insurace, that you can get insurance from. Um, and then yeah, let's see if the price drops. What's the percentage of the margin call? Oh yeah, if the price drops. So if you're borrowing to the max, and the price of your collateral drops, there are liquidations. But again, they're partial liquidations. What happens in those cases is that a liquidator will come in. They will pay back half of your loan, and then they'll take the equivalent amount that they paid back, plus 10% in your collateral. So
Hmm.
for um, what you're actually hit with at the end of the day is really a 6% overall like hit if you are liquidated. Again, we don't
Yes.
recommend that borrow up to that max percentage, but yeah, that is the
Yeah.
case.
We're definitely going to share some more instructions about how to DeFi, right? The risk of getting
Yeah,
liquidated, and it's really just about not being too aggressive with these types of things, right? If you're borrowing 75% against the value of IoTeX, and the value of IoTeX drops for some reason, then you are going to need to repay some of that in the form of my,
right,
right? So the good
right.
thing is you're not talking to a bank when you're doing this. You're talking to a protocol that just does as it's told. So the rules are out there. They're transparent. All you got to do is
Correct.
follow them, and there's no kind of sneaky behind the scenes stuff going on, right? So
Not at all.
yeah.
Not at all. We don't KYC. I mean, you come in, you can mint stable coin within minutes. Like, it's no questions asked. As long as you've got collateral, you deposit it in, you can
Hmm.
you can mint some stable coin.
Yeah, just it's sound portfolio management, right? I see Aaron says like a predatory payday loan. No, it's not, because if the value of IoTeX goes up, that means you're able to borrow more MI based on that
Correct.
collateral as well. You just have to understand, set your alerts and set your targets for that kind of stuff, right? So yeah,
Absolutely.
we're expecting QiDAO and IoTeX very soon. This is kind of the interface for Polygon, and you see a lot of these great blockchains. We can't wait to be number 7 or number 8 with QiDAO, and just pending some Chainlink integrations and things like that, which we're also, of course, very excited for. But what's on the roadmap
Yeah.
for QiDAO coming up besides new chains?
Yeah, I mean, again, new chains. We're kind of waiting for Chainlink to open up or integrate with a few more chains. While we do that, while we wait there, we are looking to partner with different money markets. And then from the money market standpoint, we'll probably be able to seed a lot of these markets with my, and allow you to basically mint stablecoin against other native assets on that chain, ones that may not have a Chainlink oracle, but it kind of just opens up the door for more native assets. We are continuing to deepen our liquidity as well, to where we can allow people to borrow more and more MI, and it have no effect on the peg. Our peg
Hmm.
has been very strong, but yeah, just continuing to create new use cases for my, continuing to generate more value for our Chi stakers, our Chi holders, um, and yeah, I mean, cross chain. We've got a lot of really cool cross chain partnerships coming out, as well as we are announcing a partnership with Celsius X. It kind of already soft announced, but they're going to be using our vaults on. Or they're going to start using our vaults on Polygon, but then we're going to go kind of cross chain, likely with that partnership as well, allowing a lot of their CeFi users to kind of edge into this DeFi space and get more yield and experience the whole DeFi area.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, we've talked to a lot of partners like Beefy and things like that. So it's really it'd
Oh
be
yeah,
interesting to see how the stack works with IoTeX, QiDAO, Beefy, and then the world really opens up. There's a lot of different options, and the best part is you're in full
correct.
control of what you want to participate in. So just another option
Absolutely.
for IoTeX users to expand the utility of their assets on chain. So yeah, with that, we can't wait for the formal launch. Keep us posted on the progress. But really, thank you for jumping on this Friday to share a little bit more about QiDAO, man.
No, happy to, man. Happy to. Thanks
Awesome.
again.
Well, we'll talk soon. Thanks so much.
Sounds good. No problem.
All right, all right, guys. So that was QiDAO. Personally, very, very excited for them to come on board. It really just provides another avenue that we can offer to our community, right? Best part is you don't need to do any of this stuff if you don't want to. Um, but it really, for me, it's an opportunity to unlock a lot of optionality as far as getting stable coins based on native assets, and utilizing them in our growing DeFi ecosystem. So stay tuned for more announcements there. Another project we're really excited to welcome is Bot Planet. And today we have their CEO, Dan, joining us. Hi, Dan. How's it going?
Hello there. I hope you can hear me well.
Yeah, we can hear you fine,
Waiting,
man.
been waiting to talk to you and to present our project. So
Yeah,
pretty excited about that.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, Bot Planet is a newcomer to the IoTeX ecosystem, and we're
Yep.
really excited to see kind of the DeFi and NFT kind of environment that you guys are building. But before we start there, where tell us a little bit more about yourself and about the team.
So originally the team started with only 4 people, and we were all pretty passionate about gaming. And we really thought that it'll be a good idea to check out the games on the market, see what the pluses are, what the minuses are, and see what we can do better. So the first thing that we realized is that not a lot of games are building supporting products for their games. And the second issue is that not a lot of games are focusing, unfortunately, on the lore, which is
Mm-hmm.
like the traditional part of games. So if you look at like Hearthstone or Pokemon, the reason why we love those games is because they're built on like 20 plus years of lore. They're not just cards; they're characters which we're familiar with. We grew up watching those cartoons, playing Warcraft games. So that's what we're trying to achieve. And when it comes to supporting products, we just really want to make the experience easier for all people, newbies or people who are already experienced enough. Because our goal here isn't just to come out on the market and get the traditional crypto community really interested in our project, but we really want to bring traditional gamers into this market as well to make them
Yeah.
realize that this is more than just playing to earn, like slot machine with extra steps. It's also about a good storytelling, a stable income, and also a lot of freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And your website has a wealth of information about all the things. But throughout this session, we're going to be talking about your roadmap and how you're going to be ensuring success with your project. But yeah, please take us through a little bit about Bot Planet, how it got started from your own words, and anything you want to share before we dive into the roadmap.
Yeah, so originally it started off as just a couple of guys wanting to create a game. Um, it was going to be basic card games, something similar to Hearthstone. And
Mm-hmm.
now to give you a contrast, basically we took completely different road. We still are working on creating a card game, but we partner up with projects like Hololoot to implement our main characters in metaverse. So they're 3D models, which are also upgradable. We brought in professional writers on the team who are writing deep lore for every
Mm-hmm.
single faction in the game, which basically means that whenever you choose one faction, your experience in the game is going to be different from mine. And it's no longer just playing to earn every day; it's playing to complete quests, level up your character, and
That's amazing.
go
Yeah.
through this story as well. And
Yeah.
as you can see on the screen, we have other products like Dex, Wallet, Lottery, NFTs, an NFT marketplace, our game, and the Messenger. So every single product is basic outside of the game and outside of the ecosystem, but when you use it together with all the other products, they become unique. So, for example, if we take a look at our wallet becomes unique because it has the built-in NFT marketplace, and it is
Mm-hmm.
also direct ticket to participating in the in-game events. So the way I would describe it is if it's Halloween season and you want to participate in the event to get those one-time limited edition skins, you have to have the wallet, and you'll be airdropped when you participate in the event. So yeah, you get your hands on those rare skins as well. With Dex, you
Yeah.
have farming options, you have staking options, and you can also farm and stake your in-game tokens as well, which then you
Right.
exchange to the cryptocurrency where the play to earn aspect comes from. The
Yeah.
messenger, pretty simple, but if you use it with the game, it gives you an option of friendly matchmaking system, which means you
Mm.
can add people as friends and you can just have fun with them. You don't have to always stress about, ranking up, and yeah, so you can just enjoy the game.
Yeah, I like the holistic view you're taking
Mm.
about this, not only from the writing of the storytelling. That's really the difference between a lot of these games that we play every day is the storytelling aspect, right? Of course, the design and the visuals are very important, but how you take people through the journey, it's kind of like, those pick your own destiny kind of books that we used to, there's a puzzle and you jump to this page, you jump to that page. Everybody's journey is a little different, right? So how did you guys come up with that concept? A lot of these games are kind of linear. You kind of just do
Um,
step by step by step, probably from your
yeah.
gaming background, right?
Yeah, exactly. We didn't really come up with it. It's just something that we already knew from playing games as we grew up. Uh,
Hmm.
you can play a game without a storyline, and it's fun for a couple of months. But essentially, you quit and you come back to the game, which you're emotionally connected to. So
Yes.
having the storyline, having something aside from just playing to rank up, playing to get better, playing to be the best out there. You should
Yeah.
also feel like you're doing some meaningful things, like you're completing quests and you're leveling up and you're progressing through the story. It's like watching a TV show. Really, you're not gonna watch 2 seasons and then there's like third season left and you give up on the show. You really want to know where the characters end up. So for us as gamers, like all of our team members played games and they're all very passionate about that. So for us, this is like
Absolutely.
the main aspect.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's awesome. I love the approach you're taking, and I can't wait to check it out. But we want to take some time, just talk about, we talked about all the things that have led you to this point. But talk to me a little bit about your roadmap, right? I see on your website here, you have some achievements already in Q2 to Q3 of 2021, and of course Q4. And now we're in Q1 to Q2 of 2022. Um,
Yeah.
Let me know where you want to start on this, but talk us through your roadmap and the progress so far.
So I'll start off with the beginning. I'll briefly go over it. So the way we grew from being a very small team is we did a lot of marketing. First and foremost, we started increasing our team size, and then after that, we saw the opportunity with the WoW Summit, which was in October, and we participated. We showcased our project for the first time, and that's where all the doors really opened. We got in connections with good advisory teams. We got in touch with VC groups. We got in touch with good developers and very passionate designers, and that's where everything changed. So now we're approaching the stages of IDO, and we're also finished our wallet, and we're in the final stages of our DEX. Uh, the development is looking linear because we didn't want to freeze the project until everything is finished and then release it, because it's going to take years of time, and this market is not really forgiving when it comes to this. So you have to make sure that your products come out linearly. That's how we see things.
For
So
sure.
sure. Yeah, next month we are looking to be listed. We're going to have our IDO, and we're also participating in the WoW Summit in Dubai again, where we'll be showcasing the trailer for the game and showcasing our first products. So
That's
such as
awesome.
Dex. Yeah.
Yeah, these in-person events just make a big difference, right? Tell us a little bit about your experience at WoW Summit. We're actually going to be in Dubai at the end
Mhm.
of March, my first time there. So it's going to be great to interact with a new audience. But
Yeah,
you
we'll
know,
be there.
awesome. Well, maybe we could do an event together or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, the WoW Summit and like these in-person events, right? Talk to us a little bit more about how you launched the project.
So for us, it was like an eye-opening experience because you really feel like you go from being just a user and to actually a creator, because you start talking to influential people, you see how they approached their projects, which have been on the market for many years at this point.
Hmm.
And you also have meetings with them outside of the summit as well, where you can they can share some knowledge with you and open some doors for you. So for us, it impacted the project like massively. Without the summit, we would probably be another project, another drop in the ocean. So yeah. Aside from that, we also after the summit were advised to, and we went from being just a project to actually opening our business in Singapore. So we're an official business, and we operate our company very seriously. Um, yeah. So other thing that I always like to mention is that sometimes it's hard to comprehend how a small team can, take care of so many products at the same time. The team has increased to 40 plus people, and we have hired. Oh, yeah, you can see the team there. We hired
Awesome.
game directors, developer leaders who are in development of wallet and DEX, and also people who are in charge of NFT marketplace. And basically, when you have directors for each department, it's very, very easy to operate, because at the end of the day, everyone is doing their job, and you're basically, your roadmap becomes much easier, and you don't have to always, extend it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. And I see you got your audits and things like that all set up. A lot of great backers behind the project. And tell us more about the IDO event you guys are doing next month as well. That's a very important piece to get the
yeah.
initial token supply into people's hands, right?
Yep. So we're officially partnered up with Game Starter, Moonstarter, and Oxbow. You can see them right here.
Hmm.
And yeah, we're still looking for one more platform, and that's just an addition, because we would like to have four. And right after that, we will launch our project, and our first products will be ready.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of things are in motion, and we're excited to welcome you guys into IoTeX. And I think the thing that caught my eye with your project is that you guys are called Bot Planet, right? Of course, IoTeX is very robot bot focused, so I think it's going to be a nice hit with the community. Even maybe some NFTs that are bot related, it's going to be a big hit with the community for sure. Um, Awesome. Anything else you'd like to share? How do people get more in touch with you guys? You guys obviously have a Telegram group and some Twitter channels, but what's the best way to get in touch?
I think the best way is to start off with our website, since it has a lot of information, and then they can scroll down, and we have our Telegram groups, Discord, Instagram, all of our socials on there. The best way to stay updated will be our Twitter, and the best way to participate, in giveaways and stay in touch with the community is on Telegram. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to the IDO. Any specific date that's going to be going on?
Yep, we're looking between 7th and 8th of March. Exact dates will be public in a couple of days, and yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I love the approach that you guys are taking. Making GameFi, kind of evolving the GameFi experience to be more holistic, right? Not only the game, but the decks, the messenger, the NFTs, and everything. So excited to welcome you guys to IoTeX, and everyone go check out Bot Planet. Any final words for the community here, Dan?
Yep, I just wanted to say as well, we're very excited to partner up with you, because we saw that your main goal is to make sure that the privacy aspect is there. And this is something that we respect heavily. We want to give the freedom to the user and also privacy to them as well. And we really respect that aspect on your side. So we are very excited to partner up with you as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks so much for jumping on a Friday, and we're looking forward to all the things that you guys mentioned about the roadmap and about the IDO and just evolving GameFi. So thanks so much for joining. We'll talk soon, all right?
Thank you very much.
All right, see you later, Dan. Awesome, guys. So that was Bot Planet. Very, very cool project that we're looking forward to welcoming to the ecosystem. Yeah, the space is really evolving as far as GameFi is concerned, right? Going from simple play to earn, even like the way that Bot Planet is not a meme token by any means, but even the way that the meme token communities are evolving, using the tokens as a bootstrapping mechanism and then kind of evolving that into their own ecosystems with their own dexes, their own different types of utility. So very, very excited for that. But yeah, our last guest for today on our ecosystem spotlight is IoTeXPunks, and we are hopefully going to have them on right now. Let me see if I can grab Reefster. Hey, Reefster, you there?
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Good to have you guys on. Really excited to chat about IoTeX Punks. For those that have seen Twitter lately, a lot of punks being used as profile pictures, and really, really cool to see. IoTeX being branded in such a way. But throughout this call, just wanted to learn more about how you guys got started. You guys have a new roadmap on your website. You guys are an anonymous team, so wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that piece and how that is really a challenge and also an opportunity in some respects. But before we start, tell us a little bit more about yourself and about the IoTeX Punks project from your own words.
Yeah, sure. So the vision comes from Pixel Moon, who's the developer, and the vision basically is to let people get a piece of art that they want to collect, and will give them a passive income. Pixel's very passionate about the passive income aspect and making it as cheap as possible. So whereas originally it was designed to be staked, the NFT to be staked, she come up with a method of automatically earning from as soon as she set it up, earning the DAO, the IoPunk DAO, which all IoTeX punks come with as soon as they're minted. So even the unminted punks from when we started like mining, if you will, 34 days ago, I think it was, they will come with 34 IoPunk. So in 90 days time, if there are any left to mint, they will come with that accumulated IoPunk. So the vision is to basically provide people with a passive income cheaply, so you don't have to stake and unstake, so you can list that punk if you want for sale on our marketplace. And also you can increase the levels. So the levels, once increased from level 1 to 2, 2 to 3, then finally to 4, once sold, they will come already upgraded. And also, if when you pay to upgrade your punk, so 60 IOP to level 2, 120, level 3, so on and so forth, those tokens are burned. They get sent to a burner address, and they'll never be placed back on the network. So, creating scarcity and increasing value. But we're not relying on that alone. Obviously, we've got plans for the future, which include projects not only on IoTeX, but on Ethereum as well. So the focus next will be another NFT project, which will be a kind of, you can call it a mint pass, but from being with IoTeX and also with other blockchains, NFT projects and whatnot, I found everybody so maximalist. So if it's on Ethereum, everybody just wants their stuff on Ethereum. If it was on Solana, they just only interested in Solana, hateful towards the other networks. So what I want to do is create a bridge where we're collaborating across all of the networks, or as many as we can, with good projects, with good roots, good backgrounds, and therefore you bring more users to the community to benefit from the IoTeX network and what it has to offer. So I'm not going to give too much details on that right now, but that's something that we have a role in the Discord for the Punk T1 users, and they will be getting priority to mint that mint pass, and so will other parts of the community as well, and perhaps collaborations with other IoTeX projects, like the ones that have been on the show today, for example. More than happy to talk with those. So yeah, that's sort of the plan for the future. And right now, as the IOP DAO has been tested, it's up and running, you can upgrade your punks, and everything seems to going pretty smoothly. That'll be the next focus.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been really a evolving project, right? You guys started with a series of 10,000 NFTs that are starting to be sold, and now it's kind of adding a NFT staking and mining protocol. But the thing that's really interesting to me is you guys have built a pretty solid community, not just on Telegram, but also on Discord. And as an anonymous team, just wanted to ask you guys, of course, it's always important to do your own research in the crypto space, but how have you guys built this community and build trust amongst your community?
Well, it's about getting the community involved. You see, it's not just down to me or Pixel. Pixel's an amazing developer, and I really like to engage with the community and other communities and other projects. So that really drives me, to get people into other projects. Look, that's on offer too, but this is what we're doing, and maybe that can be reciprocated. So, being anonymous, it's about trust, like you say. So when people come into the Discord and they're entering our competitions, like when we have our games night and we have our memes contest run by TT12, who's a wonderful games host, by the way, absolutely brilliant. And we give away punks, and these punks have an intrinsic value, right? Because it has a floor price on the secondary market of 2,500 IoTeX. So when people do things for us, like contests, like the TikTok video and things, we pay out. We give them what they're owed. So the other thing is being helpful. And the community, we've got people who are in, for example, Burma, in and they were going through a terrible situation, and the community just sort of rallied round. We hope you're okay, and it was very genuine. It's a very tight knit, small community, and everybody was very genuinely concerned for these people, and running the games night and those guys winning IoTeXPunks gives them a passive income in these areas, which where they might not have much or might even be able to afford an IoTeXPunk at 1,200 IoTeX, right?
Yeah.
And it's just about following through and building the trust that way. We've got Derek, the Viking, a Scandinavian guy, helps people
One of
set
my
up their
favorite
MetaMask.
IoTeX community members. Yes, for sure. Shout out
Sorry?
Eric. I said one of my favorite IoTeX community members is Eric. He's all over the place. Always provides a realistic view of things. Sorry to interrupt you, but just want to give a shout out to Eric.
Yeah, he's wonderful. I mean, this is a community where they come in and they say, we want to do this. Can you set this up, Reefster? I'm like, you go ahead, you set it up. Are you sure it's fine? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Like, this is a positive thing for the community. You guys want to run something between yourselves. I can sit back on the sideline, watch, monitor. If I see anything's going wrong, I can interject. But there's a lot of communities as well, and I've experienced this myself, where they're so quick to ban and judge users, or if they come in and they do something that they don't like, this, they're so quick to just get rid of people. You know what I mean? But sometimes someone's having a bad day. You got to give them a chance. You know what I mean? And
100%. Yeah.
the other thing is there's a lot of support within the group, and that's basically the answer to your question, is just building that trust slowly and keeping the members who are genuine active and rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible how Web3 can enable these kind of opportunities, right? The people that hold a certain type of asset or are part of a small community and growing community, of course. But that bond, that common denominator, is one of the best things about Web3, in my opinion, is you're able to form relationships behind an avatar. But the human kind of emotion and the human caring still and empathy still comes across, right? So that's definitely fascinating. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, isn't that the psychology of people? I mean, I'm terrible for showing my emotions, but I can easily pour them out when I have my profile pic, whether it be my Frankenpunk, whether it be my IoTeX punk, whether it be my my populars. I can hide behind that. And the other day, a community tweeted, if you're feeling like this, depressed, angry, you have value and all the rest of it. And I just tweeted back, last week I kind of like imploded. I was under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, and that it's just the feedback from the community. It's like, yo, I feel you. I had the same experience, and it's just to know that there's other people around having a bad time, other people around having a good time when you're having a good time. It's really important, and to have to put your face up to that.
yeah,
I don't think people need to or have to. Building that trust slowly and developing it is really important. Not going too fast, not going too hard, not saying, right, we need everything sold out within a week and we're going to burn the rest. This is about developing something long-term, a very long-term strategy. Like the Mint Pass will come next, and we've got an even bigger project coming after that, which will connect all, and everything funnels all the way back through to IoTeXPunks. So if you're there originally in the IoTeXPunks and the IoTeX network, this is the backbone of all of the projects that are coming up.
true. Yeah, it's tricky to build these communities, right? So of course, with anonymous projects, it's always important to do your own research, but also to experience these things for yourself, right? It's easy to point the finger and say, hey, why are you guys anonymous? Why are you doing this? But unless you jump into that Discord, jump into that Telegram, yeah, you got to experience it for yourself. But I just wanted to ask that question and just get your perspective on it, because I think more and more projects like this are going to be emerging where there isn't like a face that people can attach themselves to, and there's always like a a trust building process. But it's really interesting to hear your perspectives on that. But let's jump into a little bit about the roadmap. You guys started with the NFTs. You guys strategically listed the MachineFi NFT on your website, which I thought was a great strategy. Allowed people to trade that openly. But there's also now this kind of upgrading NFTs IOP token, which is the IoTeXPunks DAO token. Talk to us a little bit about the first IOP and how that fits into the roadmap, and then we can talk a little bit about the future.
Okay, so IOP, so as it's evolved, as things have come faster than the original roadmap, the plan is to bring in a marketplace where IOP will be the currency traded on that marketplace. We will, as we did with the MachineFi NFT, provide a place where people can come, and we will only add contracts of verified projects. So it won't be like OpenSea where anybody can come in and a lot of people get scammed and they can go in and they buy the wrong NFT because the contracts address is wrong. You won't have that problem. You won't have that issue in our marketplace, right? So the idea is that you can come to our marketplace and what you see is what you get. What you buy, you can be 100% certain that that is what you're going to get. So that's how that all ties in. And it's, as you say, it is evolving and it is forever, getting bits added on because that's developing the blockchain, right? It's not one thing, one size, very narrow-minded fits all. You have to be able to adapt and, address challenges and address problems because it's a problem-solving thing, right? Developing. So if you're solving problems and, you're on the right track. So I think there's been a problem with people buying NFTs and getting scammed on marketplaces. And I think that's a problem that needs to be addressed. And I think we can provide a solution for that. And for other IoTeX projects that want to, funnel their work into our marketplace, that's fine. That I think that's the way forward. So that's the plan right now, and that could change and evolve more in the future, but right now that's about all I can share on that one.
Yeah, for sure. What about the rest of the roadmap here? So the DAO IO with the staking and staking bonus for each punk. It sounds like that's already kind of underway, right?
Exactly
with
that. So what happened was things like we wanted to do things in stages, but it was very rigid. Pixel is a fantastic developer, but she designed the roadmap, and it was sort of set at 25% to 50% to 75%, and she just carries on developing, doing what she does, and she's like, well, actually, I'm ready now. We can release this right now. It's ready to go. So she tests it and it gets released. So why wait? You know what I mean? Otherwise, people aren't going to benefit from that as soon as the otherwise would. You know what I mean? Having to wait for it to be minted. So we just got on with it.
Yeah, makes sense. So, for those that are watching this and wanted to, you want to welcome them into your community, what's the best way for them to get involved?
Right now, I mean, you can join our Discord. I mean, if you don't want to mint, you want to know more about it, you want to chat with me, I'm always available on Discord.
He's not lying. You're always available.
Any one of our mods, TT12, Derek, willing to help you. Me, myself, or Pixel Moons, reach out to us. And the community in general are really helpful to each other, which is wonderful. Which is the direction I want the community to go in. Rather than have a rigid set of mods that are there and that you can talk about this, you can't talk about that. This, I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be more of a family than a rigid, come here, buy this, and don't mention that. It isn't the direction. It isn't what Web3 is about, right? You can't call it decentralization, then impose a whole bunch of rules on people. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So
that's the spirit of a DAO too, right? It's kind of open participation, open contribution, but everyone keeps each other accountable, right? For a lot of people, this is a weird concept that's it needs to be introduced step by step. But I think you guys are doing a great job, and hopefully, looking forward to see what you guys continue to do in the future. Really excited to have you on this chat. I think the design is pretty cool. It's a lot of different attributes to look at. But any final words for the community before we drop today?
Yeah, I just want to thank the community for all the support. Thank you for having us on, and you know, this isn't something that's gonna happen overnight. Some guys, they're in there and they want answers right now, but just be patient. We're not going anywhere. If the community do insist that we put faces up and all the rest of it, I'm sure in the future we can have that discussion and talk about it. But for right now, I enjoy the anonymity of it all, and I think Pixel does too. And that's about it. Just thank you to everybody in the community for everything. Basically, you too.
Awesome, awesome. Well, looking forward to seeing more about the roadmap and yeah, continue to build out the ecosystem alongside you guys. So thank you so much for joining on a Friday, and we'll be hearing more from you guys soon. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. See you later. Awesome, guys. So that was IoTeX Punks, and that's also the end of our ecosystem spotlight for today. A lot of stuff going on in IoTeX, and we use these spotlights to just highlight different projects building cool stuff on the IoTeX network. I think that last conversation was interesting. It's important to realize that even the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club were anonymous, right? So it's a different paradigm for Web3 in a lot of ways. When we say do your own research is not to discount or hype up anything specifically. It's just this is Web3, right? Even for all of the other projects that all the DeFi, all of the GameFi, all of the MachineFi, even if someone has a face on their projects, always important to do your own research and make your own judgments. The pros and cons of Web3 is that it's open and permissionless. It's a pro. It's also a con. You have to take it upon yourself to make your own decisions in this space. But we're just excited to see a lot of people building around the IoTeX ecosystem, and it's part of the community's job to keep everyone accountable. So really, thank you to Bot Planet, to QiDAO, and to IoTeXPunks for joining today and showing what's possible on the IoTeX network. And yeah, just for those that joined a little bit late and missed this initial talk of ours, the thing that we're really excited to unveil very, 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 very soon is our proof of presence protocol. It's going to allow, it's not just a DApp, it's a protocol on top of which other people can use real world geolocation to power a new design space for Web3. Some ideas that people are already starting to come up with and to build out are, giving geolocation based airdrops. If you're a project that's listening right now and you want to deliver your tokens strategically to different regions rather than doing a massive IDO that is honestly, maybe just money based, right? You want to give more of a fair launch to a specific geofenced area. This is one thing you can build and one functionality that's going to be built in to Pop natively. The one that I'm very, very excited for is the ability to attach NFTs to specific geofences. So you can claim NFTs by going to a physical location. Think Pokemon Go, think scavenger hunts, think if you're a restaurant or a business and you want people to come into your shop for a happy hour or for an event, you can tie an NFT reward to that. And I think that's really going to change the game and bring a lot of traditional companies into Web3 because it removes the layers that are very confusing. And it's going to be able to directly engage with your customers and with your community with NFTs. And finally, like we mentioned at the beginning of this, the world is changing a lot. There's a lot of countries and communities out there that are struggling, whether it's with hyperinflation or with war and all these things. And Web3 and blockchain is not going to solve these problems, but there are ways for blockchain and Web3 and IoTeX and Pop to specifically help with these problems, right? So one really important thing that we're going to be trying to drive with proof of presence is universal basic income for specific communities, right? I've been reading Twitter a lot in the past couple days, and there's always questions about how do we help people on the ground in a direct way. You saw SBF from FTX give $25 to every Ukrainian on FTX, but not everyone has an FTX account, and not everyone's going to have a POP account, but these kind of approaches to use geolocation in order to provide whether it's a single airdrop or recurring universal basic income, we're excited to work with a lot of cities and governments in order to explore this area a lot more. And these are just 3 ideas, right? Geolocation as an input to a smart contract is really going to change the game. There's a lot of other types of data that IoTeX is bringing to the Web3 space, but the location aspect, I think, is one that I'm most bullish about, and we're going to see a lot of that coming out with proof of presence protocol. So with that is our presentation for today. Definitely check out the IoTeX ecosystem at ecosystem.iotex.io, and just want to give a shout out again to our guests today, QiDAO, BotPlanet, and IoTeXPunks. So with that, we'll be back with some announcements related to POP and MetaPebble very shortly next week. And until then, yeah, hope you guys enjoy the weekend. I'm going to leave you with some videos about IoTeX. So thanks as always for joining. See you later.
Our world is powered by billions of smart devices that generate an incredible amount of data and value. This phenomenon is called the Internet of Things, or IoT. From smart homes and wearables to connected vehicles and renewable energy, the IoT is impacting everyone and everything. But today, the multi-trillion-dollar IoT industry is owned by centralized corporations that control our devices, mine our data, and earn huge profits with no value returned to users. IoTeX is here to change the status quo and build a future that empowers users, not corporations. We envision a world where everyday people can own and control their devices, as well as the data and value they generate. A vision we call the Internet of Trusted Things. By connecting the physical and digital worlds, IoTeX allows us to secure the data from billions of smart devices and extract value from it with next-gen Dapps. Join IoTeX as we democratize access to the new machine economy and return power to the people.